hmm Hello, YouTube. I'm on here to share about the city and the community that we live in America. The problem is not the neighborhood that we live in. Mm-mm. The problem is not the neighborhood. In the communities and cities that we live in America, everybody keep thinking if I move to another neighborhood, if I move somewhere else, but you're going to take that same problem with you. Okay, the problem is not the neighborhood that we live in. And if you get money, you think that's going to change something. No, mm-mm, that ain't it. That ain't the problem. Okay, the communities and our communities and cities we live in. The problem is not the neighborhood. The people need Jesus Christ. They need Jesus Christ to transform them. So you can move. You can take somebody out of a rough neighborhood and put them in a nice neighborhood. They still gonna be acting up because that's on the inside of them. It has nothing to do with the neighborhood or the environment. Okay. So in our communities and cities we live in, the problem is not the neighborhood. Worldwide in this world, people think if they move over here and they move from that neighborhood, but when you move over to that neighborhood, you're gonna take you with you. The problem is not in the world we live in, the problem is not the communities. It's not the community or the city or the world we live in. It's the people. The people need Jesus Christ to change them. That's the only person that can do it. Romans 12:2. A living sacrifice. Therefore, I urge you, brother, in the view of God's mercy, offer your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy and pleasing to God. This is your true proper worship. Do not be conformed to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you be able to prove what's God's perfect will. So, in the cities and communities, in the cities that we live in America, the problem is not the neighborhood you live in. If you live in a rough neighborhood, if you live in a suburban neighborhood, the problem in our world today is not the world we live in. Mm-mm. It's the people. It's the people. The people in this world, they need Jesus Christ to transform their mind and change them. But they unaware of that. They unaware of that. They really are. So I'm praying for people in this world who think that if they move to another neighborhood or if they get some type of money that that's gonna change something. No. Once again, see if you get it. In our communities and cities that we live in, the problem is not the neighborhood. It's not the neighborhood that we live in. People say, I got to move out of this neighborhood, this rough neighborhood. You try to move to another neighborhood, but the problem is in our world today, the problem is the people. It's not that the neighborhood is rough and it's ghetto and it's the hood. The problem is on the inside. Jeremiah 17:9 says, the heart is wicked. The heart is wicked. We don't have a good heart. The problem is not the neighborhood that is ghetto, that is hood. The problem is on the inside. Okay? Jeremiah 17:9, located in the Bible. The heart is wicked above all else. Who can understand it? So you can take a person and move them out to a nice neighborhood. That's on the inside of them. They're gonna act the same way. The problem is not the neighborhood, no matter where you live at. If you're trying to move out of hood and move to somewhere else, it's on the inside. They need God to change them. Romans 12:2 said, don't be conformed to this world. A lot of people are letting the world conform them and shape them. So I'm praying for men and women in this world that you will let God transform you. You will let God deliver you. I'm praying for you. Okay? It's God's goodness and kindness and love that leads, that can lead you to repentance. Okay? But the problem is not the city we live in. It's not the community. It's not our city. Worldwide, people think it's something wrong with the world. It's nothing wrong with the world. It's the people in this world. They need God to transform them. And that's Romans 12:2. Bye bye.